The voice acting is seduced me so good. Kagi was in the bridge for video recently. It still got all the screaming lines. I'm not surprised by that. A, are you in touch with David Anderson? Will he be in Let's Talk About The Walking Dead? Yes, I have. I actually talk to David Anderson very, very frequently. We're still very good. He's still my buddy. He's still a very close friend of mine. I still talk to him very regularly. He is going to be in at least one of the Walking Dead analysis videos. My plan for the Walking Dead is I did want to bring in some new faces. I did want to bring in some new people. So right now I have 3 brand new people coming in, and what I'm gonna do is every single episode I'm gonna choose one of the previous panel people, as in Selves Leader Carson, Lucky Jack 20, Kathleen Ems, and Reclusiarch or David Anderson. I'm going to invite one of them to join the new three into the panel, so that you can still see them and we can still hang out and talk about the Walking Dead Season 3 series. And we're gonna figure out how we're gonna handle the fifth one. So, so yes, you will see David in at least one of the Walking Dead Let's Talks, along with Carson and Lucky Jack and Kathleen Ems. What rare RPG games are coming on your channel? Okay, so very good question. I'm still trying to get to do a playthrough of Mass Effect 1 and 2 before Andromeda comes out. However, before that, I am going to be playing, I think it's called The Last Time by Big Cow Studios. The Last Time is a point-and-click game, but it's an RPG game with decisions similar to Telltale. The game is called The Last Time. I did a demo, so you can kind of see what that is about. The other thing that I'm looking at, RPG-wise, so there is a mod. There is a mod for Skyrim that is a standalone full game. Basically, they basically modded Skyrim. It's completely separate from the Skyrim campaign, but they used the Skyrim game to mod like the standalone, like 50-hour, I don't know if it's that long, 50-hour game. I don't remember off the top of my head what it's called, but it's really popular, and it apparently comes with very professional voice acting and romances, and apparently the same gender male romance is awesome. I've heard he's I don't know if he's Alistair-like, but I heard that he's really awesome. He's really cool. And I'm trying to find out where that is. Enderal, Enderal, Enderal. I was very intrigued by it when I did my research, and I think that for those of you who enjoyed the Dragon Age series or BioWare RPGs, from what I've been told, it's very, if you're fans of BioWare, you would enjoy this mod. So that's probably what I'm going to be doing as well, once I get my Skyrim reinstalled into my machine. So those are the big RPGs that I think are coming out very soon. Great, thanks for the answer. I will totally watch those dating sims. Now, do you know this dating sim called Morenatsu? It's actually a gay dating sim, so maybe you know it, and I know you did that bird dating sim, so it shouldn't be weird for you. Yeah, so I found out was it you, Lord Gwydion, who sent me this? But I did get a message from someone asking me about Morenatsu. For those of you who don't know what it is, it's a dating sim, but it's a furry dating sim. So there are these humanoid-looking animals. There's like 9 of them to choose from. I think it's cute. Like, say what you want to say about the furry community. I mean, I say, do whatever. I mean, whatever is your thing is your thing. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, do whatever it is you want. I looked at Morenatsu. The art is really adorable. It's really cute. And I think it would be fun to play, just because, you know, I'm not into furries personally, but I'm not gonna judge. And it's I did Hot Tofu Boyfriend, for goodness sake. So So I think it would be really interesting for me to play more Anatsu just for the fun of it. Yes, it's on my list. I think that would be a really cool dating sim to play. I don't know how soon I'll get to it if I ever get to it, but it's on my list. So thank you for asking that question. I'm not super into Batman, but I love Poison Ivy because plants are cool. I agree with that. I want to see Robin too, but there'll be tons of conflict. The Joker would be great, or maybe Mad Hatter or Scarecrow. Yeah, I feel like the Joker's overdone. Don't get me wrong, I love the Joker's character, but he's been used so many times. I would love to see other characters, like Mad Hatter would be awesome, because I don't get to see Mad Hatter that often. It'd be really cool to also see the guy with the... I forgot his name. The guy with the mannequin. I'm not the mannequin. The ventriloquist dummy. You know, that would be really cool too. Most of the time, the only time Robin appears in a Batman game is to kill him. Aww, annoyingly. What are the up and coming games you're going to play on your channel? I think I've already answered that question with what I just said. So those are the games that are coming up. I wonder how Telltale would interpret Robin if he ever gets an appearance. Is there any way to go back on these streams? Yeah, I think all of the streams are kept on my Twitch channel for a couple of weeks before they're automatically deleted. But I will have these up on YouTube, edited. I'll fix the sync problems when I edit the footage, and it'll be up on my YouTube channel in its full glory, you know, indefinitely. So you should be able to see my live streams, today's live streams now, and Anionics. I'm debating playing through the first 2 seasons of Telltale's Walking Dead just so I'm caught up for season 3. I think they're worth playing. The first one especially, Spells. I would recommend you play through the first one, and I like the second one too. So if I were you, they don't take that long to play. You can get through them pretty quickly, especially if you want to divide it up episode by episode. I would recommend that you do before season 3 comes up. That's just my personal feeling. You think you could do an LP of Until Dawn for PS4? I think you'd like that game. I have... Until Dawn has been intriguing to me, but I feel like it might be too scary for me. I don't like scary games, and I don't think I'd be able to get through the game because I think it would be just too scary for me. That being said, I'm not... I'm open to play it, but other games right now are, again, taking higher priority, and I don't have a PS4 at the moment. So that's the other problem, is I don't have a PS4 yet. Are you interested to play any more fantasy games in the future? Yes, and I think I answered that question with the Skyrim mod standalone RPG that I was just talking about. So you probably are going to get more fantasy Skyrim style very soon. We might have to wait 2 to 3 years or so, but a D&D campaign that's Harry Potter based from you would be fun to watch. I still need to catch up on the other 2. Ah, interesting that you mentioned that. So, at the beginning of next year, I am going to have you guys vote on the next campaign that I will be creating. And I will have at least 4 choices, four choices for you to choose from to vote on. One of the choices will be a Harry Potter campaign. So if you really want to see me do a Harry Potter tabletop campaign, vote for that one. But there will also be other choices for people to vote for. Whichever choice gets the most votes, that will determine which campaign I will do for 2017. Good question. Let's see. You should check Oxenfree. I think you would like it. I've heard of Oxenfree. Yeah, I heard of Oxenfree. It's on my list again. I don't know if I'll get to it, but it's on my list. I'm not into horror, but I know it's popular. I'm surprised that it hasn't got a PC port by now. That would make things a lot easier too if I can get a PC port. There's a game called Blues and Bullets that I could be looking to as well. It's episodic and similar to Telltale. I've never heard of that one. I'm gonna have to look into that. Also, that one YouTuber that wanted to play Phoenix Wright Attorney with you. Oh yeah! I wanted to play Phoenix Wright as well. Which YouTuber was that? Do you remember which YouTuber that was? I can't wait for that mod. Oh yeah, I love Skyrim. I'll have to check that mod out. Thanks for that, Hark. You're welcome. I am not deep into the modding community, so I'm a bit slow on that front. Hey, are you interested in playing more platformer games? I would. I just feel like I end up enjoying more of the RPGs more. I like platforms, it's just they haven't been my go-to as of late. I tend to favor more, and I tend to get more into the RPG games and the dating sims, and, you know, sandboxy games like Stardew Valley and The Sims. Those are the games I tend to gravitate more than platforms. However, Trine 3, like I said, is a platform game, a collab platform game that will be coming out soon with me, Rizgrestar, and Jace. So you can get your platform fix from me that way in the very immediate future. Would you be interested to play any more zombie-based games? I like zombie games, but if they're super scary, I can take Telltale level of scary for zombie games. But for other games, like for example, Until Dawn, I don't think Until Dawn is a zombie game necessarily. But if the zombies are too scary, I would not be a big fan. I can do Resident Evil. I like Resident Evil though. Those are fun. I think his name is just Ventriloquist. Is it just Ventriloquist? I don't know. Hey, are you playing the Uncharted series by Naughty Dog? I want to! That's another game. See, that's another series I want to play. I really want to play the Uncharted series all the way through from 1 through 4. But it's on my list. It's on my list, but there's these other games that I want to get to first. Oh, if only I didn't have to work. If I didn't have to work, that would be awesome. But I love my job. I do love my job. People on pizza, I don't have quite the ability to you know, do this for a living, and even so, I don't monetize my videos anyway, so I wouldn't be able to do this for a living anyway. But I love what I do. I love where I'm working. I wouldn't trade it. But it would be nice if I had a little bit more free time to play more games that all of you want me to play, and that I want to play for heaven's sakes. I want to play them too. I can't remember the name, but there was this game Jack played about two people in a car having a conversation. That'd be cool to see a vid from you. It'd be a episode vid, I think. Huh. Lucky Jack, you mean? I've started playing a bit of Season 1, but never got around to finishing it. I'm debating on getting the first 2 seasons on PC. I have the first season on PS3, but I have to dig it out and get everything hooked up. It's up to you, Spells. I think it's worth playing through, personally. Would you be interested in any co-op with Lucky Jack, AA, or maybe with David Anderson? Of course! Always. I'm always up for having a co-op with Lucky Jack and David Anderson. We haven't been able to find a game yet that we could play. I am going to be playing a co-op with Dawnforge Cast in winter, sometime in the winter, because we're going to be playing the second Divinity Original Sin 2, with 2 other players. I'll keep the identity of those 2 other players a surprise. But do expect to see a more co-op with me and Dawnforge Cast and those 2 other players. As for Lucky Jack and David Anderson, if they come up with a game, either of them come up a game that we could play, I'd be all over it. I would be all over it. So we just need to find a good game for us to play. How hyped are you for Wolf Among Us Season 2? So hyped! I'm really excited to see. Again, I love the series. I love the comic books. And I would love to see where that story continues on, especially with the cliffhanger ending that we got in the last season. Oh wow, Walking Dead is on sale on Steam for like $7. Yeah, it's on sale. It's their Halloween. It's like their Halloween special. So jump on it now if you can, Spells. There's someone you did a Let's Talk with, maybe Riz? Not sure. Also, Spirit of Justice just came out recently, so yet another Ace Attorney game. It might have been Riz, although I'm wondering if it's also The Last Moon. Or maybe it was the Gamerette. It could have been either Riz or the Gamerette or The Last Moon. I don't remember. Maybe it was. I feel like it's the Gamerette. I need to get in touch with Alex again and see about that. Wow, thanks, Hark. Yeah, it was me who commented about that dating someone on your channel. I'm glad you are so open-minded. I'm not into furries too, but I really love that game. Even if it was furry, I didn't even realize it's actually very subtle, really, and not so sexual, like coming out on top. You might like it. Oh, that's good. If it's not that overly sexual, then that's cool. That's perfectly cool. The Walk is TWAU Series 2 confirmed. The Wolf Among Us 2 confirmed. I thought it was. I thought so. No, Jacksepticeye was more dialogue heavy than a game, but yeah. Oh, Jacksepticeye. I love Jacksepticeye. I heart him so much. I would love to meet Jacksepticeye one day. Although I feel like Jack. If I ever met Jack in person, I think he'd be way too cool for me. As in, I think I'm way below his league. You know, he'd be like, "Oh, hi, angelarts." I don't think he's that kind of a person. I think he would be fine. But I feel like I would be so self-conscious if I ever met Jacksepticeye because he's a super popular YouTuber. I mean, I would be super nervous, you know, just hanging out with him because, you know, he'd be intimidating to me, even though I don't considering him to be to mean to be intimidating. It's just he's got a very big personality in a good way. In a good way. I would love to give that man a hug though. Like Jacksepticeye, he's just a lovely, lovely Irishman. If I could give him a hug, I would love that. Such a amazing guy. So cool. Jacksepticeye is definitely, I'm a big fan. People have said Ori and the Blind Forest is good. Ori and the Blind Forest. Okay. I think I've heard of that too. We need to get Harkin David and LJ to co-op Dark Souls. Oh, interesting quest. Interesting, look, spells. It was definitely a guy mentioning the game. Hey, what do you do on rainy days? Oh gosh. What do I do on rainy days? I mean, editing videos for YouTube. It's pretty much what I always do when I find free time. The little free time that I have is working on my YouTube channel. But other than that, I try to find a TV series that on Netflix, for example, to get into, because there's a lot. So yeah, try to catch up a little bit on Netflix is what I tend to do on a rainy day. Don't be like that. Doc is just human. I know he is. He's just... He can be... You understand. Did you see me? You saw how I reacted when the voice actor for Asher showed up. You saw how I was. I think I would try to play it cool when I would be near Jack. But I think I would fail miserably. I'm like, oh, Jack, I love you, man. I would die. If I met Jacksepticeye, I would die. I think everyone else feels similar to AA on the Jacksepticeye topic. No one says no to a hug. Jack, if you're watching, a hug would be awesome if I ever met you in person. A hug would be awesome. That's all I would need. You wouldn't have to hang out with me if you don't want to. But I would love a hug. It would be really cool to be able to say that I hugged Jacksepticeye. That would be amazing. I would like to think that Jack would give really awesomely genuine hugs. He strikes me as the kind of gentleman who gives great hugs. I don't know. Maybe it's an Irish thing. Whatever. But yeah. Good morning to you! I can't do it. I can't. Jack is just, he's his whole new level of awesomeness. He'd probably be a lot more chill, calmer in public, but yeah, it's always awkward meeting him. See, that's the thing. I would really love, if I were to hang out with Sean, I'm calling him Sean, because Jacksepticeye and Sean, I would love to hang out with Sean, the person, as opposed to Jacksepticeye, the YouTuber. I think that Sean tries to be genuine, and I'm sure that he is actually very, very genuine when he does his YouTube channels, but it would really be cool to be able to hang out with him and just in a more calmer, chiller, less... I think as YouTubers, we tend to try to be a little bit more entertaining than we normally are, and I don't think we're trying to put up a face or be fake or anything. I think we're just trying to be engaging, but still be ourselves. Because I mean, even when I'm out with my friends, you know, I try to be engaging. It's still me, but I try to be entertaining when I hang out with my friends. But at the same time, you know, if I'm just chilling on the couch and just having a serious conversation and hang out with friends, I'm a little more subdued. I'm a little more mellow, and it's still me. It's just the mellow version of me. So I would love an opportunity to hang out, maybe have a drink with Jacksepticeye and just get to know him as him and not as the YouTuber. Get to know Sean, then Jacksepticeye. That's what I would really love. That would be really cool and awesome, and would be a dream come true for me. Or anyone you look up to a compared to guests. That being said, if you guys ever for whatever, if you somehow see me in person, don't be afraid to say hi. I will not be upset if for whatever reason we somehow are in the same place together and you see me in public. Ask any of the people that have met me in person already, like the people from Dragon Age Resurgence. I'd like to consider myself very approachable. Please don't be shy. Say hi. I have yet to meet anyone who has recognized me on YouTube, which it doesn't surprise me at all. But, you know, for those of you who feel like, oh, Hark, he's this YouTube person, don't be shy. Please say hi. Please say hi. Please reach out. And hopefully it'll be me and not someone who looks like me. But, you know, that aside, I would love to say hi, to hang out and say hi for a bit. So don't be shy. Or anyone we look up to. We build up people we admire. I'll admit I was slightly nervous meeting AA for the first time, even after being slightly nervous after getting the interview for Mass Effect. Really, Spells? Aw, Spells. Come on. Come on. It's just me. Do you want to see more comedy dialogue in Telltale games, AA? Yes, because they do comedy very well. Before Telltale games even did The Walking Dead, you know, before they became more of a household name, comedy games is what they did. You know, like Sam and Max, for example, Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people. They did mostly comedic video games, and then more recently they started doing more dramatic games, which I think is awesome for them because their writers are amazing. Like I said, Telltale just does everything so well. Well, I'm not really type to care about celebs, but I'd probably be calm and not fangirl because screaming loudly in public isn't my thing, but I might ask for an autograph if I talk to them at all. Well, that TTFBL Season 2 comes out, I expect a lot. Do you plan on buying a Nintendo Switch thingy? I might! It looks really cool. I might. The only problem is my Let's Plays, it's so much easier to Let's Play on PC. That's why virtually every single game that I LP is on a PC, because it's just easier to LP on a PC. So if I'm going to be playing any video games, I'm probably going to spend more time playing video games on something that I'm going to Let's Play. And PC games are easier to Let's Play. But I think the Switch is really cool. I wonder how good the battery life is going to be on that thing. Like, if you're going to be taking it mobile, I'm curious to see how long the battery can last when you're taking it mobile. Do you enjoy the change that Telltale did to Clementine in Series 2 Walking Dead? I think as the series continues, Clementine is going to be more hardened in the future. I do, and I think what is heartbreaking, but I understand, is you watch Clementine being less and less innocent and more edgy, and she has to grow up because it's the only way she's going to survive. So going through all 3 seasons, I miss the little girl that Clementine was, but I totally understand why she has to evolve and why she has to lose her innocence. Because, I mean, with the world the way that it is in that universe, she has to or she'll die. So it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. I wonder if the people who made The Moon ever made the sequel that they were planning on. Oh, To the Moon. I think they did. I think I have to go Let's Play that soon. I think they did. I probably should Let's Play that soon. Good point. I live in a small town, so unlikely, but it'd be cool if a fan recognizes you. I can vouch for Hark. He's really cool and approachable in public. Oh, thank you, Spells. Thank you. I'd like to believe, Spells, I'd like to believe that I am the same in person as I am here. You know, I'd like to believe that what you see on YouTube is pretty much what you get in real life. I like to believe. Even though, like I said, I can have my mellow moments too. So hopefully you felt the same way, Spells. I'm hoping. Did you kid version of Clementine to the Sassy's version? I don't know if I can understand what you're saying. Did you kid version of Clementine? Could you repeat that question? I fall into fancy. I'm not following what you're asking. Hey, Hark, I'm being honest. Shiny new person, glitter powder and all that. It was just initial, and it helps. You're easy to talk to. I'm not nervous anymore, just at first. Aw. Callum, you're so cute. Well, to make sure it's someone... make sure it's you. Someone could just yell out, Vaughn at the gym, or something. If he turns around, he'll know it's Hark. Oh, yes! Yes! Yes, that's what you should do. If you yell out Vaughn at the gym, I mean, other people might think you're crazy, but if I turn around and I'm like, where? Then it's probably me. Probably me. Or if you mention Scott Porter, I probably will turn my around. If you're like, look, Scott Porter, I probably will turn around too. Do you want to see more Lee flashbacks in Season 3? Yeah, why wouldn't I? Of course. Yeah, I can see them doing another Lee flashback in Season 3. That would be really cool of Telltale to do. Do you still enjoy Fallout 4? I remember you saying that Skyrim became a little boring after a while. So how is it with Fallout? That's the thing. Fallout, I didn't get bored with it. Skyrim, I got bored after playing it for, I got a good 20 hours in. I played Skyrim for a good 20 hours, but then it got to the point where I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to just rush to the end of the main storyline. And then I beat the main storyline, and then I didn't really feel all that invested in the rest of Skyrim, which is why I think this mod is going to be different, because it's the mod that I was talking about earlier is going to be completely its own standalone story, its own standalone game with fully voice-acted, romanceable characters that I heard are very well written. So, and I heard is very BioWare-like. So I think this is going to be what will get me to really appreciate the Skyrim game, is this mod. But no, Fallout for some reason, and I think it's just because I enjoyed the way that they did their companion system. I love the feeling of community with not only the followers that follow you around, but also all of the people that you bring into your settlements, that you bring into your, your bases. That to me was what really kept my interest in the social aspect of the story. Really got me engaged in. And I mean, come on, McCready is awesome. McSexy's made that game for me. I loved McCready, and Gabe Reedy. Gabe Reedy is what made that game for me. Love, 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 love Fallout. I can't wait to hopefully they'll keep all of the elements that I like in Fallout 5. When they come out of Fallout 5, hopefully they'll keep everything that I love and even make it even better. That would be my wish for Fallout 5. Do you think playing as Clem in Season 3 is a step down compared to Lee? Wait, do you think playing as Clementine in Season 2 or 3 is a step down compared to Lee in terms of age? I don't think so. I think it was interesting to play as a child. The only weird thing about that is that it got really odd when all of the adults seemed to turn to Clementine to make a lot of the major decisions, or all of the adults started depending on Clementine. I mean, granted, she is wise beyond her years, and she grew up very quickly, and she's smart, and she's very capable, but it happened way too often for it to be that believable, in my opinion. So that's the only part that was a little awkward. I think that now she's a lot older in Season 3, that will be a lot better. Hey, are you looking forward to any indie video games in the future? Yes, The Last Time is one of them that I was talking about. That's one of the major indie games, as well as, like I said, Trine and the mod. So there's a bunch of indie game things that are coming out that I'll be playing. Not too much of a difference, really. You're a lot taller than you seem on camera. Oh, well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Well, there is a bird story, but not the one I mean. I think you haven't played that yet. Got it. Gotcha. Oh, well, most LPers are always sitting down in their vids, face cam, so yeah. Hark, do you plan on doing any content on Sun and or Moon, the new Pokemon games? I want to so badly, but I feel like it's going to be a hassle to somehow screen record, to capture them. I really would love to, but I don't think that I would be a very good Let's Player for Pokemon games, honestly, because I don't think I would have much to comment on. I don't think I'd have enough to comment on in Pokemon games. That's why I don't Let's Play them. It's not because I don't enjoy the Pokemon games. I just don't think as a Let's Player, I would be able to do them justice. I don't think I would have enough insight on a Pokemon game, enough that I think you would really appreciate compared to some of the other Let's Plays. So that's one of the other reasons why I probably won't Let's Play Sun or Moon, because I don't think I would do it well enough. And I have to be honest with you guys when I don't think I would do it justice. He better wear some kind of shirt that says Sexy Evil Maester. Be better to wear some kind of shirt that says Sexy Evil Maester, yes. Hey, do you like the kid version of Clem to the sassy version of Clem too? But I think you already answered that. I do miss the kid version. I miss the kid version of Clem. What are your hopes for Mass Effect Andromeda? My hopes for Mass Effect Andromeda is to continue having really rich relationships with your companions. That is what I love about the BioWare games the most. More so than the main plot, more so than all of the gameplay, like the combat gameplay. It's how well are the characters written and how deep of a relationship can you get with the companion characters, both platonic and romantic. I want to have some awesome romance options. I want to have some awesome, I'm going to be honest here, I want to have some more awesome same-gender romance options. I love, the romance options that we had with Caden and Cortez. I want them to do an even better job and raise the bar even further with that. So those are my main hopes. Those are the things that are most important to me personally. And yeah, so I think that answers the question. What are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to any other Telltale games that are coming out next year? Definitely the Marvel one. Looking forward to Marvel one. I'm definitely looking forward to Tales from the Borderlands because, again, Tales from the Borderlands was my absolute favorite Telltale games of all time, even slightly surpassing Walking Dead Season 1, which is my very close second favorite Telltale's game. So my hopes for the second season of Tales from the Borderlands is for us to control, instead of controlling Vaughn instead of controlling Reese and Fiona, is for us to control Vaughn and Sasha. Because Vaughn and Sasha, they are awesome characters, and I think that since Reese and Fiona, because of what happens to them at the end of Season 1, I think it would be a great opportunity for them to push Sasha and Vaughn, who are such strong characters, up into the limelight and up as principal characters, main characters in their own adventure, to help Fiona and Reese. I love Fiona and Reese to death, but I think that it would be amazing to control Vaughn and Sasha, and then we can finally hopefully get our Vaughn at the Gym mod. Please, get us the Vaughn at the Gym mod, please. I would love you forever, Telltale. So amazing. And what would be really cool is if they kind of brought out that, it would be really cool if they sort of kind of brought out there was actually a same gender, there was actually a Reese Vaughn romance dialogue, kind of. Like Vaughn was, or at least there was a deleted, I think some of you might have heard of this, there was a deleted audio recording that was recorded between Troy Baker and Chris Hardwick, where Vaughn, it sounded like he was coming out to Reese, like coming out of the closet to Reese, telling about some things that he was experimentations. Yes, that kind of experimentation that Vaughn was having, which I thought was really amazing. I can kind of understand why they took it out of the game, because I guess it didn't really add to the plot at all. But if they sort of revisited that and put it into the second season, I don't think they actually will, honestly. I don't think they really will do that, especially since they're trying to push, Reese with Sasha or Reese with Fiona. But Reese and Vaughn, I know that there's a bunch of people who are big Reese and Vaughn fans in a romantic kind of way. It's more of a pipe dream. I don't think it's going to happen, but pipe dream, it is what it is. Okay, and I'm curious, did you ever have facial hair that you don't like? I know this comes out of nowhere, but I know that this crossed my mind. So I'm not a facial hair kind of person. I like fuzz, like peach fuzz on people, like the Alistair peach fuzz. That is perfect. But more so than that, I'm not a big facial hair kind of person. And therefore, I also don't like facial hair on myself. I like to be clean shaven. Sometimes I might get a little lazy, but for the most part, I prefer to be clean shaven. So I never grew a beard. I never grew a mustache because I don't like them. So I don't wear them, personally. I know you don't like a horror, but would you be interested in playing a horror game in celebration of Halloween, like you did season 1 of The Walking Dead? Probably. I don't know if I have time to do it this year. I have always wanted to try playing the Earthbound Halloween mod. There's a special Halloween mod for Earthbound that was released a few years ago. I wanted to play that, but I just didn't have time to get around to it, unfortunately. It was meant as a compliment. Thank you, Spells. What are your favorite types of Pokemon? In the original Pokemon, my favorite were Psychic. I really enjoy Steel when it came out. Steel Pokemon for some reason. I don't know. I'm an engineer. I'm a very big sciencey person, so maybe that's probably the big reason. Which is why my favorite Pokemon, if you were asking what my favorite Pokemon is, besides Pikachu is sort of like a given. But besides Pikachu, my favorite Pokemon is Jirachi, because Jirachi is Psychic Steel, which in my opinion is a really awesome combination. Psychic Steel. So, I don't know, that combination is just really, really interesting to me. If there ever is a light element, I really wish they made a light. I wish they made Fairy type a light type, because I think that you have Dark type, so why don't you have a light type? And I think Fairy type lends itself to light type very well, but they decided to go Fairy instead of light and dark. Sure, whatever. But if there was a light type, then I would have gone for light type, because the whole angelarts, angel theme, that kind of goes with it. A Solarian romance would be interesting. It would! I actually would love a Solarian romance, especially since Solarians don't live that long. That might be like Thane all over again. I don't know about that. But a Solarian in a romance, while it lasts, would be really cool. Even though they don't feel deeply for too long with their emotions or something, but BioWare would probably make one Solarian that'd be different. I mean, if you guys watch Resurgence, look at Hugh. Hugh is a very beloved character that I would romance. I would romance the snot out of Hugh if given the opportunity. So, a Solarian, it's possible. Might be tedious to learn the information playstyle, but a co-op of Don't Starve with someone would be cool. I've thought about that as well. Don't Starve is another one that I thought would be really cool to romance with. Do you want to see any more things from BioWare games? Of course, anything BioWare makes, I would be so willing to check out. Because, I still love BioWare as a company. Maybe a future RPG not based in Dragon Age or in Mass Effect. Oh, like another original universe? Yeah. Totally. Or, in addition to that, a sequel to Jade Empire. Where's my Jade Empire 2? I think if they did Jade Empire 2, I would be so happy, because I really enjoy Jade Empire 1. It's become dated. If you play it now, you can kind of feel that it's been around for a while. So if they were to do a new Jade Empire 2 with the engines that they have now and with the technology they have now and the writing that they have now, with the character development that they have now, I think it would be an amazing game. I would love for them to revisit that universe again, because I thought that universe was really cool and interesting. Peach Fuzz, got it. Make notes. Okay, Calum, I don't know what you're doing with that, but okay. Are you interested in a co-op with your husband? I'd have to find the right game to co-op with Colin. He's not that big of a gamer, to be honest. He enjoys more of the really casual games like Mario Kart, Street Fighter, those kind of games that you just kind of play in, you go in and out, you play in and you're out. So if we were to do a co-op together, I would have to find a game that would fit well with him. So anyone who has any suggestions for that, I think would be a really interesting game that we could play for 15 minutes. I think a 15-minute game, probably no more than 20 minutes, would be something that would be interesting for us to let's play. We'll see. I think that's a really great idea. I think it would be awesome to see too. I love Skyrim for its lore and Fallout for its NPCs. I have maybe a little difficult question, but I'm very curious. Do you prefer gay romances that are set in a world that is negative about it, and you meet with some negative reactions, or gay romances that are set in a world that doesn't care about sexuality and accept gay or straight equally? That's a very good question. What do I prefer? I mean, I think both. I enjoy both for different reasons. I think that having a game that addresses that people still have negative views on homosexuality is important, because I think it helps put into perspective an issue like that. And it doesn't have to be anything like in-your-face political in a game, but I think that there are people like that in this world, and I think, even in Inquisition, most people seem to be perfectly okay with Dorian being gay, but his father had issues, and I thought that they handled that so well, and I think that scene with his father spoke volumes and hit a lot of people very deeply personally in a very good way. So I think that while it still is a problem in real life, I think that it's valuable to have a game where there are still people who find LGBT folks to be an issue, because I think that it helps people become invested in the characters and relate to the characters. Even if you're an ally and you feel that, or maybe even for someone who's on the fence, like he's like, well, the Bible says this, but I don't know. If you're on the fence about LGBT characters, I think some people really felt something when they played Inquisition and saw that scene between Dorian's dad and Dorian and his dad. And I feel that if you just made everyone accepting of gay romances in a video game, if you just made everyone accept it, you would kind of lose that a little bit. So, but I think that over time, that kind of thing would be dated, that it would be we wouldn't have the need for that anymore in the media. Like, I don't think you really see any video games that are like, look down on interracial relationships. Are like, oh, you two are together? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't think the video games that I'm aware of points that out. And if there are, I think there are far few in between. And I think that means that we've finally come into a place in our society where it is so prevalently accepted now that pointing it out in the video game, it starts becoming unrealistic. Not that there aren't people still around in the world that don't have a problem with that. There still are plenty of people in the world that don't have a problem with that. But I think that those cases are turning into such a rare thing that it doesn't have to be a thing in video games anymore. I don't know if that answers your question, but hopefully it does. Do you think Life is Strange is better than some of the Telltale games? Life is Strange has a few differences with Telltale in that the whole rewind thing mechanic is really interesting, and it's very different from how Telltale does it. I as you know, I've had very strong opinions about Life is Strange. I think comparing Life is Strange to Telltale, you start getting into apples and oranges a little bit. I think that they have a lot of similarities, but they're still very different games. But I still favor the Telltale games over Life is Strange personally. But again, they're not really the same, so it's really hard to compare the two. Apparently, there's some new Pikachu plushies. Not honestly. Are you getting on some new ones from the Pokemon Center store website or whatever? I've been collecting a few over time. I think my most recent Pikachu that I got was a gift from somebody for my birthday last year. So I'm still getting some more. Then my collection is coming. It's on my dresser. Unfortunately, my dresser isn't behind me anymore, but they're there. My husband knows, believe me. Aid, what do you think of that Cole? Do you think that Cole might return in the next Dragon Age game? I hope so, because I love his character so much. And I feel like there's still unfinished things going on between him and Reese. Reese would be an amazing character. Reese and Evangeline or Eveline, I don't remember. Reese and either Evangeline or Eveline, I think it's Evangeline. Having them becoming characters, or at least one of them becoming a playable character in the next Dragon Age would be amazing, especially if we could use them to tie up loose ends with Cole, because I really want to see Reese and Cole reunited again. I think there's a bit of a misunderstanding between the two of them, and I really want to see them together. Sort of like how I really want to see Cedric and Hugh together, but I'm not going to say anything more about that. We're going to move right along. Would you be interested in playing some strategy games? Yeah, I would. They're not my go-to at the moment. I would love to play a strategy game that was very story-based. For example, The Tale of Two Brothers was very had an amazing story, but it had a puzzle game within an amazing story. Those would be the kind of games I would love to play. If you know of a game that is heavily story-based with a good story, that is a strategy game, I would love that. It may not have anything to do with future concept, but you won't have to worry about it for a while. Wow, you're on fire, I Fall Into Fantasy. Aren't they? Really good questions. I'd love to see more Cole, but I don't know what the new Dragon Age game will be like, so it'll depend on what the writers do. I wouldn't mind Hark playing more strategy-type games, sort of like turn-by-turn tactical types, such as Disgaea or Final Fantasy Tactics. I love Tactics. Final Fantasy Tactics. I would love to play a game like Final Fantasy Tactics. Those games are a soft spot of mine. I missed the last 2 live streams that AA did because I couldn't log into my Twitch account, so I'm burning with questions. No problem. Well, it's a good thing Hark doesn't have to go to a Halloween party right now. Maybe take down notes for future questions the next time in case you forget something today or something. I am sure you appreciate them. The only racial thing I can think of is in recent memory is a non-hardened Alistair and a female elf warden. That's true. That's true if you're putting Alistair on the throne. But that's very specific and believable. AA, the creators of The Last of Us have commented that the next game might not have Joel in it. That's interesting, but they probably will have Ellie in it, maybe when Ellie is older. That would be interesting. It might have an older version of Ellie, but she would be on her own. That or a new character and Joel and Ellie cut out completely. Can I get your opinion on that? Do you want to see more of Ellie, or do you want them to focus on new characters? I think focusing on new characters would be really cool. I love Joel a lot, but I can understand that maybe his Joel story has been told. And maybe there's a lot more going on with Ellie that we can explore and have her meet new characters. I'm always up for meeting new characters. Not that I mean, a lot of you guys who have watched the Telltale games, I mean, you've seen my comments on Joel as a character. At the end of the day, I understand why Joel did what he did. I understand it. I get it. And that's not the reason why I want to see Joel go, but I have no problem if Joel continues being a main character or a side character in the next The Last of Us. I have no issues with that. But if he doesn't become a character in the next game, I'm fine with that too, just because I think his story has been told at this point. And maybe Ellie can pull a Clementine and star in her own game. I personally want to see more of Ellie. Any plans on doing games that aren't on PC in the future? Like I said, the Persona series, and the main games that I want to play that are not necessarily on PC are the Persona series and the Uncharted series. But I have to get the console. I have to get a PS4 or a PS. Well, I have a PS2 and I have a PS3. I'd have to get a capture card for the PS2, PS3, PS4 for the other game I was talking about. My mind is going like rubber right now. Those are the major ones I would love to do if I did do a console game. And maybe Until Dawn. Maybe. I have to get a capture card first. If I find a game like Final Fantasy Tactics, I'll let you know. I mean, there's a War of Lion update for PSP, but that's specific and too different. A game I really like is Soul Nomad and World Eaters, but I'm doing that game as my new mic arrives. Oh, awesome, Spells. Awesome. Congratulations. AA, do you play the Uncharted games do you play the Uncharted games? I want to, like I said. I want to play the Uncharted games in the future. There's technical things that I have to get to first, or to be able to play it. Fire Emblem is cool. The older ones are a bit hard, though. I never beat them. I still need to finish the new one my friend bought me. Ooh, Fire Emblem is a great idea. Yeah, I've been curious about Fire Emblem. I know nothing about the game other than, you know, their characters in Smash Brothers. I don't really know anything about the characters, so that would be pretty cool. Dragon Europa would be cool to see too, though it's super long. But it'd be cool if you could do both games, and by the time you finish the third one for next year, the third one would be out by then. Ever played any of the Resident Evil games? Oh yes! I love Resident Evil. Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 6 are my top Resident Evil games. I actually did a co-op Let's Play of Resident Evil 6 with 4 different YouTubers on my channel. If you haven't seen it, Resident Evil 6, look it up on my playlist, because I did one with Shally, I did one with My Corner, I did it with different characters, with different YouTubers. Each character with different YouTubers, and I had so much fun. So check that out. I love Resident Evil 2 because I love Leon and Claire. I wanted to do more Let's Plays. I actually was planning on doing a Let's Play of the most recent Resident Evil games. The one with Jill on the boat, I think. And then I think there's another one with Barry Burton. I was planning on playing those, but I hadn't gotten around to it. Again, it's still in my list, but again, there were so many other games that I wanted to get to first. AA, what music are you interested in the moment? The games that the music I tend to listen to on a regular basis are more pop. Like I listen to the mix stations on the radio, so a lot of pop music for the most part. The unfortunate thing is I'm very bad when it comes to recognizing artists. So I might listen to a song and, oh, this is really cool. I may not necessarily know right off the bat who's singing, who the artists are. So I don't follow artists as well as I probably should. So one of my favorite bands, though, is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. For those of you who ever seen them in concert, I highly recommend them. If you don't, if you like Christmas music, definitely check out their Christmas concert. It's amazing. I've seen them 6 times live, at least. Definitely a huge favorite of mine. Let's see. Every Fire Emblem game takes place in the same universe, like you hear about previous Yurios, but they're all their own contained stories. Interesting. So you can just pick about any of them and have a good time. Fire Emblem Awakening. That's the one before Fates. Both are fantastic, and Fates is 3 games packed into one, really. Hey, are there any more co-op games coming up? Those are the ones that I've mentioned before are the ones that are coming up. I don't know how soon I'm gonna do a co-op after those, after the Trine one, for example. We'll see. Again, it depends on what the schedule looks like and the other games that take higher priority. I would love to see you play the Infamous series on PS3. I played the first 2 Infamous. I'm very curious about Infamous 3. So, again, I won't say no to it, but I don't think I would get to it anytime soon if I ever do play Infamous 3. Do you have any favorite comedians? Chris Hardwick. I love Chris Hardwick. Chris Hardwick is awesome. I love. I got to see Chris Hardwick live, perform live when he was here in the area, and my husband and I, we both thought he was. We've seen a bunch of comedians over the years, and we thought he was definitely one of the best. I think he's my personal favorite. And he's so adorbs. And he voices Vaughn. I mean, come on now. He voices Vaughn, so how can I not love him? And plus, Chris Hardwick is such a geek. He's such a nerd. He hosts The Talking Dead. You know how much I love The Walking Dead. You know, he loves D&D. He loves Chris Hardwick and I would get along really well. I think he and I would be like such good buddies, such good friends. If I ever got to meet Chris Hardwick in person, I think we would, you know, hit it off super well. We have a lot of very common interests. So, I'm gonna say Chris Hardwick is definitely my favorite comedian. I also like Seth Meyers. Seth Meyers is really good. I enjoy him a lot, and he might be a guilty pleasure, but I like Jimmy Fallon. I like Jimmy Fallon. He's fun. I like him. So those are probably my top favorite comedians. Someone that's a little bit more edgy. I love Wanda Sykes. Wanda's awesome. And I mean, surprise, surprise. There's no surprise here. I really like Ellen DeGeneres. I mean, very few people I think dislike Ellen. I think a lot of people might might be, might be indifferent to Ellen, but yeah. So those are some of my favorite comedians. Thank you, satisfied my curiosity. I deal with a lot of negative reactions about gay romances in real world, and as a gay, it's sometimes heartbreaking. So because of that, I'm glad when I play a game where I can be in myself and no one even cares about my sexuality. It's very nice. But I do understand what you mean, that some people might change their options after seeing Broken Dorian. Would you be interested in sorry guys. Would you be interested in doing reviews for the new Harry Potter films? That's a good idea. I think I will do that. I think I will probably, yes. When the Harry Potter Fantastic Beasts come out, that's a good idea. I think I will do a review on that. That will be awesome. I would love to do that. VG person, this person's translated a lot of Japanese indie games if you're interested. Thank you, Kenpedo Kiss. I'll have to take a look at it. Alright. Okay, guys. Whew. That's a lot of questions. I think I'm gonna go take a break. Go ahead and stop here, because I've got Once Upon a Time to watch, and I've got The Walking Dead and The Talking Dead to watch. And I got a bunch of candy baggies that I need to finish for my coworkers that I'm going to be giving them tomorrow when I dress up for Halloween. So if you have a question that you didn't get a chance to ask, please save them for... Alright, fine. I'll ask one more question. I'll answer one more question from My Fall Into Fantasy. Do you want to play any more video games with Troy Baker in them? Yes. The answer is yes. I know you love him as a voice actor, but small info, if you like the dialogue between Catwoman, Bruce, and Two-Face, those voice actors are infamous. Oh, those voice actors are in Infamous Second Son. I'm not surprised. I think I did know that. Troy Baker voice acted the main character of Infamous Second Son. I did know that. Okay, so I think we're good. If you have a question that I didn't get the chance to answer, save it for the next live stream. I don't know if it's going to be Batman. It might be The Walking Dead Season 3. We'll see. Thank you again so much for joining me on this live stream. A very special thank you to Asilla, Amberall25, Astronime, or Astroneme, or Astronime, Damn Towlet, I Fall Into Fantasy, Lord Gwydion, Super Spells, and The Avenger 559. Thank you guys for sticking around with me until the very end of the live stream. You did not have to do that, but I appreciate that you guys did. And I hope you guys have a very safe and enjoyable Halloween. Please be safe out there. Watch out for those creepy clowns. Use discretion and caution. And I will see you guys at the next Batman live stream again. So hope you guys had a great time. And until next time, love yourselves and love each other. Mwah. Good night, everybody.